Hello. Let me know if you can hear me, please. My exclamation key. Oh, excellent. My exclamation key is working. Now, let's see. All right. We don't have anyone in the chat or on the video yet. So I am going to share this over to Instagram. Veronica, hey girl. Oh, good to see you. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear? I have... Oh, I feel like this volume is probably not working. Let's see. Oh, it is. I have the fan on right now. I feel like it is very annoying. Yep, I'm gonna turn it off. Can you hear? I have... Oh, there goes the fan. Oh, I feel like this volume is probably not working. Let's see. Oh, it is. All right, so I told you guys I was going to work on becoming a live streaming master. I feel like I have done that. I know how to switch screens and stuff like that. I know how to do a green screen. However, yeah, sometimes I take a little bit before we get going. I'm so glad to see there's some people joining in with us here. Yeah, we're going to have a fun time tonight. I know now from personal experience that sometimes it can be, you can be shy, right? You can be shy when you're joining on to a live stream. You can be shy to type in the live chat. That's what I experienced. I've seen some good live chats. I've seen Veronica live streaming, Ukrainian Perspective with Veronica Olson, right? Your videos are showing up for me on YouTube. Lots of them now. They're awesome and really funny, very insightful. I caught you live one time. I always click like on your videos, but I was too shy to join the live chat. So I want to let anyone know who wants to join in the conversation today that that's what this will be about. It will be interactive. And we have a lot of crazy things going on in the world right now, okay? And realistically, there have been crazy things going on in the world since the dawn of time. And we are actually living in one of the safest, best times for human beings to be alive on the planet. However, it's not really feeling like that lately for a lot of people. And I know myself, I am really good at avoiding media hype, okay? I'm really good at doing that. And it's even been getting to me. So for people who normally, you know, I don't watch the news, I don't watch TV, but I do get caught up in things like Reddit or Twitter. And of course, you're seeing the worst things ever, right? You're seeing the absolute worst things ever there. And if you think about it, if someone made a clip showing your 12 worst moments, and they said, here's a video of Adele's life, and it was the 12 worst things that I'd ever done, and you would think this horrible thing about me, right? And that's how the media kind of works right now, right? So what we want to do on this interactive live today is we want to take our power back and feel good and focus on purpose, power, and resourcefulness. And I think that's really well needed in the world today. So what I would encourage anyone to do is I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and I will encourage you to type your answers into the live chat. Now, if you're watching this video at a later date, type your answers into the comments below, okay? This is actually really important. This putting something out into the world is its first experience of you seeing it in front of you when Prior to that, it was only just in your head, right? So writing things down, writing them out, is really important. And I've explained on YouTube before how there is some kind of weird magic that happens with the internet, with other people focusing on positive things for you. I talked in previous videos, I wrote about it in my book that I have available, about how the energy from other people thinking positive things about me and writing specific things towards me that I wasn't even aware of while I was in the hospital, it helped a lot. And I was really surprised. For example, I was in the hospital for my heart condition, and I was really surprised to come back online and realize that I had a ton of comments about my heart, positive things about my heart. Oh, you have a beautiful heart. Oh, I love your heart. And believe me, no one knew what was going on except for one friend that I've had since elementary school, and another friend I have who is a popular YouTuber who is even more private than I am, okay? So nobody knew what was going on, but the internet and the connections we can form here are magical, and they have power, and they're important. And I don't know how it works. Sometimes you don't have to know how it works, but you just have to know that it does, okay? So when I ask you anything, type it into the comments, type it into the live chat, and feel free to participate in that way. Yes, so let's just check in. Oh, you're welcome, Veronica. Yeah, I love your videos. You're really cracking me up. You know, I saw, I was thinking, oh, of course everyone's watching those 90 Day Fiance videos on YouTube right now. And I remember thinking, oh, Veronica should make a video about this. And then I saw that you did it. You did it the next day. I was like, this girl's on top of things. And that's what I like. Okay, so I'm going to talk first about controlling our mental state during this time, okay? We want to be really, really guarding our thoughts, our attention, and our energy, okay? And you're going to find that your thoughts, they may be going all over. The ideas, you know, they're going all over. You may be having really disempowering thoughts, right? Because that is the message that the media, the narrative that they want to push on us is that, you know, some people are victims, some people are bad, and you're a victim because of how you were born, and you're bad because of how you were born, and it's due to things that you can't ever change. Wow, what a lovely message to be telling people. What a wonderful thing to be telling your children. Okay, so we don't want to be letting these ideas and thoughts get in on us. And it might not be that obvious, right? When these thoughts start coming up for you, it might not be obvious that you're thinking what I just said, like, oh, I'm a victim and I have no power. You might be thinking things like, oh man, like I've tried so hard and why does someone else have more than me? Or you might be thinking, oh, you know, sure, I have X, Y, and Z, but I sure don't have as much as that person. Or you might be thinking things, or, you know, you might be hearing from any kind of organizations or Twitter people or YouTube people. You might be hearing them telling you that you deserve something and you don't have it, or you deserve this and XYZ took it away from you, right? You're going to be hearing all these kind of crazy messages. And one thing I would definitely encourage people to do is do not take someone's word for gospel just because they're on YouTube or on Twitter or on Instagram and they have millions of followers or anything like that. Believe me, I know some of these people in person, okay? There are people who have 1 million followers on YouTube who I was friends with on YouTube or on Facebook 5 years ago, chit-chatting with them, okay? Some of these people are not mentally well, okay? They can be really intelligent, but they'll be spinning these things that sound so intelligent and so appealing. And if you look at the underlying message, it's negative and it's not helpful. And so don't just believe anything you hear. Don't just go to these people to hear their opinions and accept what they say, okay? And just think that, oh, they're so smart. And then they have the social proof of having millions of followers. And you think, oh, well, you know, you don't even think it. It's a subconscious thing. You don't think, oh, well, this person knows what they're talking about. It's like your mind just kind of accepts it. Right? That's how the TV used to work, right? If it's on the TV, it's official and it's it's these are important people, so we just accept it. But you can't do that, okay? Even me, don't don't just believe anything I say. I hope that, I know I have some of the best viewers on YouTube, and I know you guys are running things through your own filter of what makes sense to you and what's important to you. So that's another rant about that. So, guarding our thoughts, guarding our mental health and our mind. So, what you really want to do is you want to keep in mind the fact that your brain works like a plant in some ways, right? It's like your neural network. You have clusters of thoughts that have really deep emotions attached to them. And if you have certain connections that are being made in your mind, they create pathways in your brain. And every time you feel that, that intense like emotion of, I don't know, whether it's shame or anger or resentment or powerlessness, it kind of lights up that pathway in your brain and it makes it stronger and stronger, okay? And so if we really want to stop these things from controlling our minds, and we can be controlled so easily by our biology in ways that you wouldn't believe, okay? So, and I'll talk about that in a bit too. So what you have to do is you have to snip those branches. And the way you snip those branches is as soon as you feel that thought starting, right? You feel that thought wanting to go along that path in your brain, stop it. And you have to consciously think about this. And you have to consciously do this every single time. And eventually that path will start to grow over. Okay? It's going to start to grow over. And I thought I would illustrate this for you guys with some lovely lilacs. Okay? Let's take a quick peek in the chat. How many of you have smelled lilacs? Do you like the smell of lilacs? Yes, Seattle girl, it's so hard to in weird times we're all in. Yes, the only thing that can control our state is our own minds. Anything can happen outside of us. Anything can happen at any time. And the only thing we can control is what's going on up here. What a wonderful topic, says Veronica. Thank you. Aw. Goofy Cookie says, aw. People are saying, I overthink everything. I love the plant analogy. Great. Well, I tell you, the plant analogy is going to get even more serious here. Okay. So good. Mind over matter. Hey, long time. Good to see you too, my friend. I'm so glad to have all of you who have been around on my channel for many years. I know there are some of you who have been here since the beginning. Which was 2012 was when I first uploaded a video. No, I have not been on YouTube for 8 years. 2012? Seriously? No. I think I deleted some of those old videos, but it's possible it was 8 years. Anyway, so what have we got? Oh, we have here, I used to smell them in my way to school when I was little. Me too. Where do you live? I live in Alberta, Canada. This is where I lived, and they grow. And you can see they're still a little bit damp. We had the most beautiful thunderstorm earlier, and I went for a walk with my rain boots in the thunderstorm, which is something that I love. We can control how often we smell lilacs. Exactly. And I saw these and I said, I have to pick some of these up and I'll do a live video about them. Okay, so a great way to help you to visualize keeping your thoughts under control and taking back those neural network pathways is when the negative thoughts or feelings start, your mind starts to go into that path, like, oh, it's some negative thing. Think of snipping it. Think of just snipping off that branch of the neural network. Just snip. And what that would look like is just like this. Okay, what are we thinking? Oh, I might lose my job. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Bye. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And as soon as you feel that thought coming up to saying, oh, the media says that due to the color of my skin, whether it's black or white or red or yellow, that XYZ is true about me and there's nothing I can ever do to change that. Nope. Goodbye. And so all you have is these beautiful flowers, right? And that's how you do. You have to take your power back in that manner, okay? And you smell your beautiful flowers, and you think about the positive things instead. And so one thing that I find is really helpful is just to identify maybe like the top 3 things, okay? The top 3 things that your brain tends to go to and ruminate on, like to think of some negative thing and like get upset, to get mad or to get scared or to feel hopeless. Think about what those 3 things are and think about a counter statement so that when you go to snip that thought, you can just replace it with the counter statement. Okay? So I know for me, as many of you know, I came from a very abusive background. I don't really have any family. My parents are dead. My siblings are estranged from me, although my younger brother has a YouTube channel now, but he and I haven't talked in a very long time. And it's quite complicated. I plan on writing about it or making a video about it in the future. But you, oh no, I'm all distracted. Yeah, so I tend to think things like the negative things that start to come up for me are things like, it wouldn't matter to anyone if I died. Or, I don't have a family, no one cares about me. And I tend to think things like that, okay? And, well, I used to think things like that. Like, for example, and this is so sad, like when the COVID-19 thing first came out, I was terrified at first. I wasn't terrified for myself because, as I've mentioned, I'm not scared of dying. I'm not scared of suffering. I just think, oh my God, like I just know that if things are going to blow up and people are going to freak out. I think of all the children who couldn't go to school and I get upset, for them. And yeah, I have so many stories touching things that I've experienced or been through during this time with strangers or with neighbors or people who I've connected with through this time that have been really great. But I know that those kind of thoughts are not true. Those thoughts that I have friends who care about me. And another thing to really keep in mind is that we're really conditioned by this society to believe that having these outside things are what fortify us against the world, right? So if we look at famous people, stars, we have stars who are loved around the world, right? They're multimillionaires, they have millions of fans, they have children, they have big families who love them, they have tons of friends, they have tons of famous friends, and they'll commit suicide, right? So it's not about the outside things that keep us fortified in this world, okay? And the things that kept me alive when I was a kid, it wasn't having a family. Like I quote unquote had a family and I had friends back then, but I was alone in the hospital a lot of times. People are afraid of dying alone. I died alone in the hospital already, right? When I was 9 years old, I died on the operating table and I had to get shocked back to life. That was the second time that I saw my own dead body from outside my body, okay? And so I can survive crazy things. And this world is a shadow. It is a dream. We work at developing and building family and friendships and, things here that keep us fortified in this life and that help us bring meaning and purpose, but we can't allow them to distract us from the bigger picture of things and the things that really matter and the real meaning in life, which I think that's an internal journey, right? Because we're alone when we're born, right? You're alone when you die. No one can come along with you when your eyes close for the last time, okay? No one's coming with you. And when you sleep at night, no one goes with you either, And so I think it's so important. And I've been thinking about this lately too, that, loneliness is oftentimes a yearning for your own self care, and to pay attention to your own feelings, and to understand, to go inside and see what's going on for you. A really easy and great way of doing that is by keeping a journal. It's a simple, cheap, easy thing to do. And I've been keeping a journal, 20, for about 20 years now. I have a bunch of journals, and it's really cool to look back and see all the different things that were important to me, what was going on in my life back then. So yeah, that's another thing I would recommend. So right now, let's do a quick little exercise. In the chat, or if you're watching this later, in the comments, just type a quick statement or sentence about, you guys are distracting me. I'll get back. I'll get to the chat in a minute. Put a statement. So let's focus on the three main things that humans tend to have the most fear and anxiety about, which are relationships, finances, and their body. For the sake of marketing purposes, that let's just assume those are those are the three things in marketing that will sell the most to people, but because those are the three main things that humans are primarily concerned with. So let's think of those three things, and let's start with the first one, and let's go with money. So in the chat, let's imagine that your mind has just gone to a negative thing about money, okay? So let's think that right now your mind is going, and okay, so let's imagine that right now your mind is going, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to have a job in 3 months, okay? So I'm going to pull out my Lilacs analogy, but first I want to put in this caveat, which is, if your mind is ruminating on something that is causing you anxiety and stress, take action against it, okay? So what you want to do is take a few minutes, in your day, write down your concern. If your mind is ruminating on a concern, it could be that it's a legitimate thing that you need to pay attention to. Right? So write it down. Okay, what would happen if I lost my job in 3 months? Maybe I should talk to my boss. Maybe I should start looking into going to business for myself. Maybe I should sell some of these toys that I've had, lying around to have some extra money saved up. Or maybe you could think, hey, if I did lose my job in 3 months, I've got enough savings that I'd be okay. I know a person from this company, I could probably get a job through there. So look at what action you can take. If your mind is ruminating on a topic, take that action. And if it still keeps going, now it's time to pull out the scissors, okay? So your mind is going, what happens in the next year what if my stocks, okay, no, goodbye. Okay, we can't control the stock market. You take the action that you can take against that, okay? And then after that, you're going to snip those thoughts as soon as they start up in your brain. And we're going to replace it with a positive thought about money in your life. So type in the comments or type in the live chat a statement about, let's think. A time that you were worried about money, but you made it through. So if I'm gonna go type mine in the chats too, and type yours in the chat. A time you were worried about money, but you still made it through. So for me, it was when I moved out to the mountains where no jobs were available, relying only on internet money. I made it. I made it. And it was amazing. That was one of the best things I ever did. And I had a heart attack within 1 month of moving out there. And you know what? I survived that too. All right, so we've got Goofy Cookie wrote, definitely before. Okay, no, that's a snipping thought. we need the good thought. All right, what have we got here? I was worried about money back in, Morgan J says, I was worried about money back in 2017, and I have been blessed abundantly in 2019 and forward. Yes, to Morgan J. Some wonderful lilacs for you and your great story. We've got Bill Howard. When laid off by a major airline, but made it. Yep. You can think back to times when these things have happened and we made it anyway. We've got Melanie Griesener. I was worried about money after I quit my job. Went on a road trip after my graduation in 2016. That sounds like something I would do. Came back to NYC. It was difficult finding a job. My student loan payments were kicking in, but I made it. That's right. That's right. HTV3. Good to see you too. Yeah, I know. I tend to do these spur of the moment. I should probably plan them. We'll see. All right, so we've got your money counter statement ready to go when that annoying thought pops up in your brain. Okay, so now, we've got one from Veronica too. Veronica Olson, Ukrainian perspective. When my husband at the time lost his job and I was stay-at-home mom and new immigrant, but it started a whole entrepreneurship journey. Girl, you've got that Patreon going. You've got those live chats, going. I was looking at them like, and your subscribers are increasing. I was like, yes, this girl has got it. I was like, this girl has got it. I'm so glad for your story. Thank you. All right. We've got Esmeralda Vara saying, in 2009, I was getting married. About 2 months before the wedding, my husband was laid off due to recession. Oh, but I lifted him up and told him we're going to make it. We got married and we made it. Oh, that is so sweet, right? I love it. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Thank you, Melanie. We love it. We need more leaves, Adele. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about that. I already cut like 5 of them off. Maybe I'll start cutting the actual leaves themselves. All right, so let's think of the second topic too. Okay, so our body. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't get emotional. I feel sad when I think about people thinking negative things about their body because, believe me, I have done this for a very long time. The very first picture of me, I was still in my mother's womb. My mother was 19 years old, heavily pregnant, and sitting on a couch. And she's looking at the person taking the picture with this look of contempt and anger. And I don't know where that picture has gone. There's a lot of pictures from my childhood that, I probably won't see again. But I remember asking her about that picture, and she told me that my dad, who was a bodybuilder, right, so he's a very image conscious man, 6'4", he was taking this picture of her to show her how fat she looked, because he was saying she was getting fat during pregnancy. Right? This 50-year-old man is saying that to his 19-year-old, not even wife, girlfriend. The nerve, right? And so I feel like, I think of that picture and I think, man, like I've been under that energy my whole life. When I was, I can't think of 9 or 10, when I was around 9 or 10, around the time that, I got out of the hospital, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They put me on anabolic steroids to save my life because I was dangerously underweight because I couldn't eat for so long. So these steroids blew me up and puffed me out, right? They make you retain a lot of water, but it brought my appetite back. So I looked big. I'd been skinny and athletic my whole life, and suddenly I was big looking. I have pictures that'll be coming out soon, but I like my whole life I have just felt these negative feelings about how my body looked. And I know that's not a unique thing, right? A lot of us go through that, right? So, where was I going with this? So I feel sad when I think about people thinking about their bodies that way. Especially because I know right now a lot of people are comfort eating, right? At the beginning of the pandemic, they told everyone, go out and buy extra food, and now you're going to sit at home and you're going to be eating it, right? You're going to be eating all that pasta and that rice that's supposed to last for many years, right? I see you. I see what you're up to. And they told you, you got to order takeout and support local restaurants so you're enjoying that takeout. And they're saying, and on top of all that, we're going to shut the gyms down. Sorry about that, right? So there are a lot of us, out there, and we're feeling like, oh man, I gained a bit of weight or whatever. And I know that a lot of people are feeling bad about their bodies, before that, and even worse now, potentially. So I just want to share, I think my body, like, I've really changed towards it over the past 5 or so years, especially having seen my own dead body, right? I know that if what I call is not inside my body is dead. And I know what that looks like. It's very weird. And I now see my body as this organic thing that responds to and does for me what I ask of it so that I can function in this earthly realm. That's what it is. And I almost think of it fondly in the way you might think of a horse that got you through the desert, through a long journey out through the desert. This horse was faithful to you. It sounds weird, but I realize that that's kind of how I think of my body. I think of it, it's just served me very well. Especially when it could have given up on me numerous times. I know it will give up on me one of these days, unless, of course, the singularity hits and, we all become immortal and technologically advanced and everything else. But barring that, you really have to have some appreciation for your body and what it's got you through. So if any of you are feeling badly about your body right now, if you're thinking you're not happy with how it looks, or you're wishing that it wasn't X, Y, and Z, or anything like that, and you notice those thoughts coming up, what are we going to do? So we're going to have a thought coming up like, I'm feeling fat, or okay, gone. And we're going to think of a positive thing that our bodies have done for us instead. Because if you didn't have a body, you would not be able to exist on Earth. So what is something that you love experiencing from your body right now, or something that you are grateful to your body for? For me, I love that I can smell these wonderful lilacs. I can think of so many things that I love from my body. I'm going to type one of them into the comments, something that I'm grateful to my body for. I can think of many things, but definitely put something in the live chat. If you're watching this after, put something in the comments below. Type it out. Get that thought from your mind out into the world where it becomes real. And type out, what's one thing that you're grateful to your body for? So for me, I am thankful for my body. I'm thankful for the strength to ride my bike in a maybe not a thunderstorm, because can you get electrocuted from that? No, you can't, because the rubber is on the ground. I am thankful for the strength to ride my bike in a rainstorm. That's what I'm thankful to my body for. There's many, many things. So hit that up in the comments below. Let's see here. If you're just joining us now, we are doing this interactively, so make sure to comment in the live chat. Make sure to comment below. If you're shy, don't worry about it. Take the plunge. I know it can be scary, but we're also supportive here on this channel. All right, so Melanie says, I'm so grateful for being able to go on long walks every day and also bike rides, for my legs being able to get me places. I know. That's beautiful. Daring Danielle says, I'm grateful for my mobility. Goofy Cookie says, I'm thankful for the way my body heals. Isn't that amazing? I love, like, Crazy Nobi, I could be very clumsy on my bike, okay? I fell off my bike, I skinned, my hand, and I just remember seeing it day after day growing back over. Like, it blows my mind. Like, how does that, it's just so amazing. These little things that people just take for granted. Bill Howard, I am truly grateful to God for his preservation of my strong, healthy body overall. Yes. Marissa Andrea Moore says, I just had surgery. Wow. So your body is healing and you're able to watch YouTube videos. I'm thankful that I could take slow walks today. Yes. Surgery, modern day surgery, is a damn miracle. And it's such a luxury to have. You guys know, like, if it weren't for modern day surgery, I'd be dead a very long time ago, okay? I'd be dead. And I've had heart surgery, and the only scar I have is on my wrist. That's it. Blows my mind. Ukrainian's Perspective, Veronica Olson, I'm thankful for long, effortless nature walks. Oh, that sounds so nice. Esmeralda Vara says, I'm grateful for my body for being able to feel nature around me, from petting my dogs, feeling the dirt when I plant flowers, feeling the frogs when moving them to a safe place. That's so cute. I love frogs. Oh my God. Oh man. I love the little baby frogs in the spring. They go from just being these tadpoles, and I swear it's like within a few days they're these miniature little frogs jumping around everywhere. Oh man, I still remember when I first found those the first time. It was one of the most magical times of my life. Oh, we've got Wallet. Hello. I'm thankful that I have eyes to see amazing, beautiful scenery in nature. Oh yes. Was your heart surgery stents? Yes, I have a titanium stent in my right coronary artery. I'm a cyborg now. I like that song Titanium. You shoot me down, I am titanium. That's me. I talked about that in my book. About how I have this running rivalry with death, where I'm like, hee hee. You're not getting me this time either. You've been trying, but no. You're going to have your moment, but it's not going to be this time. Yet again. Okay, so we talked about money, we talked about our body, and we're talking about the third thing that I mentioned that humans tend to be the most stressed about, and that is relationships. So, right. Sorry. I'm sorry I'm laughing because of a comment. What is this? You just walked into a Scientology meeting. It's a Scientology meeting. Sorry, I have no idea. I just thought it was... Okay, so, and by the way, can we get the likes up? If you haven't hit like on this video yet, can you click like on it so that other people can see it? Let's see if we can get the likes up. Victory over death! I love that. I love that so much. Although I am not a death-phobic person. I'm not afraid of death. I don't think it's a bad thing. And I want to have a good death. I've thought about it before. Kind of like a birthday. You know, you plan your birthday. In my mind, I know like what kind of death I want to have. I'll probably make a video about it. That being said, if I don't get that death, I'm fine with it too, because you just have to accept it. Sometimes you don't get to choose, right? So, we're talking about relationships next, which is one of the things that people really stress out about. It's one of the real pain points of the majority of human beings. So, relationships. So right now, you probably have a neural network in your brain that has a negative path that is very well traveled, that tells you some stupid negative ass thing about whether or not people love you, whether or not people like you, whether people care about you, whether you'll ever meet somebody. It tells you stupid, negative things that are not useful or helpful in any way. Now, what I said in the previous topic, if we're thinking something repetitively negative, it might mean that we need to take action on it. So it could very well mean that, you need to put yourself out there more. You need to reconnect with people from your past. You need to, talk to a person that you're in a relationship with now and be more honest with them and let them know your needs and see how you can help them more, right? So if you can take action on a repetitive thought, take action. And if you're still having the damn repetitive thought, well, we know what comes next, right? Okay, so we're going to take that neural network, and the next time we start ruminating on that thought, our thought starts going in that direction. And for me, that direction is, oh, it's just sad little Adele over here with no family. Blah, 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 click, goodbye. Okay. So when that thought comes up, it's gone. You have to, oh, shoot, I'm doing it again. No. And now we have to think what we're going to replace that with. Okay? So we can smell our beautiful flowers and keep control of our emotional state, right? Because we have thoughts and feelings that start in here and then they create actions out here. Okay? And if we can keep control of our thoughts, we can have better feelings from them, and those things can help us act differently in the world and improve our life. So we need to keep guard on those thoughts. I'm loving the emojis, Veronica. Okay, so when those stupid thoughts come up, we're cutting them right off, and we're going to have something quickly prepared to counter it. Okay? Now, this can be anything. And I would say to think of, let's write this in the comments. Type in the comments, and we're typing things out in the comments because we're taking things from inside our mind and we're putting them concretely in the world by typing them out. And we're putting them out. And that's their first experience of reality outside of our brain, right? And that's important. So we're going to type in the comments if you're watching this later, or in the live chat if you're watching it now, type just one memory you had of a time that you felt really loved or cared for. Now, this can be with a friend. This could be being appreciated at work. This could be a comment you got on social media. This can be something from your childhood. This can be an animal, okay, who made you feel very loved. Write about something that has happened for you recently or something that comes to mind that just made you feel really loved. And notice right now the process that you're going through. I know for me, I told you that sometimes I can feel so alone and I can feel so, I can feel very alone, even though I like being alone, which is weird. But then in this example, I'm sitting here thinking, I have so many instances to choose from right now. And I'm thinking that's really great, So let me go in and type. Wow, I could type so many. I'll type one. My friend bought me an accessory for my vehicle and it was delivered to my front door. It was an unexpected gift. Smiley. Okay. Spell check. Excellent. All right. My flatmate telling me she sings to our plants. If that made you feel loved, I could see that. Guess what it means to you? And you've got a question mark there. The very next one is my very best one, and I'm taking very positive action. Look at this. We've got some good ones. My love memory was when a lady friend agreed to meet me for a great conversation recently. Excellent. I've also got someone in here saying that they can't see or hear me anymore. Not seeing that on my end of things, so you might want to check your connection, but I will double check. Can you guys see/hear me? There we go. I'll take this moment to take a quick drink break. I'm going to put it on mute so it's not like an ASMR drinking. Okay. Well, it says, I was at an event and the song Feels Like Home by Chantal Kraviazik was playing. I felt such overwhelming love. Aww. That is very sweet. I used to love her music in high school. A beautiful Canadian singer. When I got really sick and my neighbor made me homemade chicken noodle soup. Oh, that is so cute, from Esmeralda. All right. Surprise date today at the beach. Oh, yeah. That sounds really nice. I'm glad. Oh, I was going to bring up something negative. Nope. I was going to make a negative comment about people going to the beach. Nope. Goodbye. Surprise date to the beach. I think that's great. Yeah, I've got a delay going on in this video. That's something I'm going to have to work on fixing. But I think that might be related to the software or the hardware. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay. So that was kind of what I wanted to talk about today. We've got about 10 minutes left. And I wanted to bring up the topic of resourcefulness. And yeah, I feel it's really funny to look at different areas of specialization in your life and think how they can apply to your actual life. So let's write a comment. And thanks, by the way, Veronica, for letting me know that we're still good on the stream here. You guys let me know if anything weird goes on. Let me know in the live chat. Put in the comment what your formal training in the world was. Okay, what was your formal training? Okay. So for me, I have so much training in. Oh God, I was about to write it and I was like, oh no, I'll be typing for a very long time. So I'm not going to type, okay? So if you can, or if you have education or whatever you're trained in, type it in the comments, and I'm going to talk about how you can relate it to your life, and that'll be really fun. So if you want me to do that for you, type in the live chat, or if you're watching this later, just type it in the comment, leave a comment. Doesn't matter if it looks like a disjointed comment, just leave it. So put, okay, we've got finance. There we go. We've got Bill Howard, who's in finance. Okay, so for me, I went to school for forestry. I've also taken courses in cosmetology, used to call it. Okay, this was back before, what do you call it? Internet or YouTube beauty gurus. You should take cosmetology. It was actually pretty interesting and fun. And I've taken a ton of training in therapy as well. Okay. So, and one main one I forgot to mention, survival. Probably one of the most fun courses. I've taken so many fun courses and experiences, but survival. So survival, one of the funnest things I've done was, just a friend and I, the instructors drove us all out to the foothills of Alberta in January. Okay. So it was around -20, and that's degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's very cold. Okay. So it was about -20. They drove us out to the middle of the foothills. We were allowed to bring in anything we could carry on our packs. They dropped us off at the woods, told us to walk in. I can't remember how long we walked for, but it was a while. We had a certain distance we had to walk in, and they're like, okay, we'll see you in a week. And that was it. And you know what? I have long legs, okay? The snow was past my knee. Like, it was definitely between my knee and my thigh, okay? And it was extremely fun, right? Me and my friend, we set up, and it was so cool to see how your brain, if you have a creative brain or you have a certain kind of brain, maybe you have a logical brain, some of you might have that, or a systematic brain. I have a creative brain. So in a situation like that, I have my survival knowledge, but I notice cool things that we can also do. So we set up a lean-to with the fire in front. And then I had this idea. I saw all these stumps lying around. And just like what you see behind me here, I said, oh my God, let's take these stumps and let's stack them at the end of the lean-to, right? Because a lean-to, it's like a half of a tent, okay? So it's open on one side where you put the fire, and then the two ends are open as well. So we stacked up logs at the end, both ends of the lean-to, like a log cabin. And it was so warm and comfortable. But it is so cool that my mind can kind of work like that. But now I've also been thinking of the term survival. What does that mean? I'm trained in survival, right? And don't I have the best training? That, I've been dead and come back from that. I've been thrown into these environments on my own where I had nothing to rely on but my skills on the internet. Okay. So, man, I'm thinking about survival and creativity and resourcefulness. That is what I am skilled to do. And I can apply this in any situation and in any environment. It's going to help me. Okay. So let's look at what you guys have done and what things you may have that are useful that you can apply to no matter what life throws your way. It doesn't have to be just to a work environment, right? So what have we got here? I feel love all the time, whether I'm with someone or on my own. Yes, me too. I love it. People in school used to make fun of me because I used to talk about things being romantic. And for me, that doesn't mean about, a boy and a girl love each other. It's so romantic. To me, romantic is something that just makes me feel so good. And I think it's beautiful. So I remember one time when I was in forestry, we were coming back from a field event and we were in the van and we were driving back and the sun was setting and someone calls back and says, "Hey, Dal, isn't this romantic?" I started laughing. I'm like, yep, these people know me. I'm romantic. All right. Okay, finance, international relationships and communication, education, human relations. Wow, programming, stock trading, communications, nursing, graphic design, and multimedia, medical field. My northern girl. Yep, that's me. It's -4 degrees Fahrenheit, Adele. Really? That doesn't sound so bad. -20 sounds much worse. Survival, creativity, resourcefulness. Hello, hello. Honestly, that question is hard. Okay, don't answer it then. Or think about it more. It's okay. Okay, so let's just pick something out of here. Human relations. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I'm not... Is that HR? Oh, that's HR. Oh my God, is that ever useful in your everyday life? Because what is the most, useful thing is to be really good at networking and understanding people. And when you understand people, they connect with you. You connect with them. You're able to anticipate their needs so you can be helpful and useful to others. You can create products that sell, right? Education. I love education. Education, you can apply that to so many things too. Of course, my mind initially goes to, how could a person make money with this online? But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about, in times of upheaval, we can look at the skills that we have and they can apply to a lot of different things. So education. Yeah, wow. If you're an educator and you love educating, of course, I would tell you make a YouTube channel, educate the people about something. But yeah, you can start things in your community about things that are important to you, build community with people, teaching things or putting together events, which is another thing I love doing too. I love doing that. Yeah, there's just so many things. If you're somebody who's teaching, it means you're really good at learning as well, right? Because you have to learn these things before you can teach them. So there's so many new skills that, changes in life require us to learn, right? I just got a free 2-month subscription to Skillshare as well, from a YouTube channel, of course. When I come across people who get sponsorships for like clicking, and I'll always click them. I always want people to make money. I always want to help them. Even though these people have like 8 million subscribers, so I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll give them another. If you might be interested in that, Skillshare deal, let me know and I'll come back after and I'll leave a comment on this video with their code that you can use if you want to get a free 2 months of Skillshare, which is, I think it's like an online platform where you can just learn like anything taught by experts around the world. It's pretty cool. What else? Medical field. Yep. Extremely useful. Medical field. If you know how the body works, right, you can be very useful to, you can be so useful to, being a first responder. I have first aid, so thankfully I've never had to use it, but if you're someone who's very familiar with those kind of things, you can help people. But if you know how the body works, man, you can figure out how to maximize your health, how to keep your family and friends in the best of health. And as I've talked earlier in this video, our body is the purveyor of magic in this world. Our body is this weird thing that allows us to be here on earth and do interesting things. So if you are a master of the medical field, that's a lot of power. And you should make videos, of course. Wink. All right. Education people can build a fortune online or offline. Exactly. Videos, courses, books, seminars, events. Yep. Okay. So, I'm going to wrap things up. So just to recap, we talked about how it's so important during times of change and turbulence to manage your emotional state. And we talked about how when we have negative thoughts and feelings, they come out in the world as actions. So when we have a negative thought, it can become a negative feeling, and that becomes an action out in the world, or even an inaction. And so we can control, we can make better lives for ourselves by having control over our thoughts. And the way we do that is we stop those neural networks from building deeper and deeper paths in our brain by stopping them when we notice them. So when we have a negative thought, we either look at what we can do to take action, and we take action to resolve the worry. But if we've done that already, we just want to we're going to snip that branch right off of that neural network, and we're going to stop that thought, and we're going to replace it with a thought that's counter to it that gives us a positive feeling. And we're going to keep doing that until those paths get smaller and smaller. And so we talked about the 3 main areas of concern that tend to come up for human beings. And that's our body, our relationships, and our money. So something you could do tonight is to sit down and write out maybe the 3 top concerns that you have in this area. Or if you have any lingering ruminations around this area, write them down. Write what you can do to take action. Take action. And if you can't take action, it's time to stop those thoughts and replace them with the good things or good memories. Just things that will change the feeling. Okay? So if you change the thought, you change the feeling, and you can change your action, and that will affect your life. So I'm so grateful to all of you who joined in and participated today. That was really fun. I really appreciate it. What else have we got here? Do I still have my ebook? I am redoing that ebook. I'm making it even more epic, and I'm trying to keep it updated for what's going on with YouTube. So, thank you so much. I bought it last year. I'd share the link if I would have it. Oh, that's so kind of you. I have to tell you, it's actually not available right now, though. I'm improving it, and it's going to be really exciting. I'm adding video content from workshops that I've done, and also some printouts if people want to make like YouTube books and stuff like that. So that'll be really good too. Okay. I saw someone here writing about, I don't know if you get around to answering this, but how do you stay positive about money if your situation may be dire? Resourcefulness. Resourcefulness. If you look back, watch this video back, we talked about times where we felt that we weren't going to make it, financially, and we did. So I would think back on that, keep that in mind, take action on every point that you can. For me, sometimes if I have concern, oh wait, like I'm trying to think how to phrase this. For me, I have been on my own since I was 16 years old. Okay, so I always have multiple sources of income on the go at one time. Okay. I've been paying rent since I was 16 years old, and I've never been late or missed a rent payment once. Looking back, I wish that I had gotten someone to co-sign a loan for me when I was 20 for 30 grand, and then went and bought a tiny house and put it on an off-grid piece of land and paid it off by working crappy jobs for 10 years. I wish I had done that because I worked crappy jobs for 10 years anyway, right? I wish I had done that. But barring that, I paid all my rent payments, and I've never missed or been late on rent once in all that time. So I did all kinds of crazy things. For me, I've always had numerous things on the go. I remember my first experience of internet money was secret shopping. People back then, like, how old was I when I was doing that? Like 19? I remember thinking, anytime I look at anything online and thought, oh, that seems cool, people just go, oh, that's cool, I wonder how you do it. And they just go off. To me, I go, how do you do that? And I figure it out and I do it. So I became a secret shopper. And I remember I used to do these secret shops multiple times a week. It's not really worth the time for the money, realistically, for the transportation and all that, but it was really exciting getting money off the internet for going to a shop and, viewing what's going on and reporting back. And usually you get free stuff, free oil changes or whatever it is, right? And so I was like, oh, this is cool. But you know what else I used to do? There was this company that you could order CDs from a catalog. And, oh God, how old was I back then? 19? You could order CDs in the mail, and you could order like 14 to 20 CDs with these little stamps, and you would pick them out. And so I'd pick out the music that I wanted, I'd put these stamps, send it away. They'd send you this big box back in the mail. And the thing was that it cost, I think it cost like 19 cents. The deal was it cost 19 cents, but if you didn't cancel in time, then they charged you a membership for $40 a month or something weird like that. It was this weird kind of scammy thing. However, I was a little, I was like a funny little kid. So I always had these little hustles going on in my mind. So I ordered those CDs and I would listen to them and enjoy them. And then I would take them to the pawn store. I figured out I could take them to the pawn store. They used to take used CDs and they'd give me $14 for a CD. Okay, whereas I had got all of these CDs for 19 cents. Now each of them was worth $14. And some stores didn't want them. Some stores would already have a copy, or some stores, they didn't think the music I liked was popular enough, they didn't want to buy it. But yeah, sometimes that was the only thing I could do to eat that day, was to take CDs and sell them at a thrift store. Take the bus downtown and go sell some CDs. And of course, I always had jobs on the go as well. All right. I've got a super chat from Veronica. Thank you, Adele. Love this concept. Yes, thank you so much. Oh, so appreciated. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to be so interactive and wonderful. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys all made it here and everyone participated. That has been extremely fun. All right. Okay. Well, I hope this has been helpful and useful to some of you. And take courage, my friends. Guard your beautiful space in your mind. Tend to the garden of your mind. And we will see you all again soon. Bye for now.